Okay, today is July 13th, 2019, and right now at 6 p.m. we have a temperature of 86 degrees here in the foothills of Los Angeles. The relative humidity is 52%, and the dew point is 66 degrees up there. Uh, Feels very humid today in Southern California and hot, and we've got more hot weather on the way. All right, so right now we're looking at this is a tropical depression 4E right here. Notice it's being dealt with, it's being blown apart. You can see the pressure waves right there and the diminishment in the center of that developing weather system. Now let's go take a look at not Hurricane Barry, but Tropical Storm Barry, which was nearly a hurricane this morning with 70-mile-per-hour winds. We can see that this system is being targeted. The RF power being used to weaken it is insufficient. The storm moved down through Tennessee. About the last 4 days, it creeped down through the south. Very odd way for the weather to move down. It moved over the Gulf and then made a right turn, and now it's moving into Louisiana and New Orleans. Let's go ahead and look at the Doppler radar. The first thing we'll notice looking at the Doppler radar is that there is no activity by the WSR-88D ground-based radars. These are located all over the country. Notice there are no pie-shaped cutouts anywhere around this weather system. We see no pie-shaped cutouts. And of course, the heaviest weather looks to be offshore, moving in. We've got a counterclockwise spinning weather system. This is all going to move in, and we've got some heavy thunderstorms over New Orleans right now. We've got all this weather moving in, and of course, the technology is being misused. That is the WSR-88D. Those are the ground-based Doppler radar networks that are severe weather detection radars. Are apparently not working. They're not working today on this system, so that there's no excuse for that. We can see that once again there's no activity by those ground-based microwaves to knock down and evaporate the precipitation from this weather system. So we'd like to hear from the people down in Louisiana and also Alabama and whoever's affected by this storm right here, which was nearly a hurricane this morning. All right, and as we pan around, we'll notice that we have some monsoonal thunderstorms and rain in Arizona and New Mexico, and also up in Utah and Colorado and in northern Nevada. Nothing over here in California. All right. Now, taking a look at once again Tropical Storm Barry, we can see there's some blast pattern evidence over here on the west side. Take a look at this also. There's some of this evidence in one of the other maps. But this system could have easily been superheated and destroyed right as it moved down offshore. This was allowed to move into the Gulf and make a right turn. Most of us will remember that for 10 years straight, there were no major storms in the Gulf of Mexico. No major storms for 10 years. That's a Category 3 or above. But nothing like this. Certainly there was no tropical storms allowed to destroy any of these, flood these coastal areas for 10 years. So remember that. That was weather controllers. They were doing what they were paid to do. These cities all along here have hurricane insurance and all sorts of different weather options and bonds and so forth. Disaster bonds. You can read all about that on the website artemis.bm, artemis.bm. And so that site deals in weather derivatives and bonds and all that sort of thing. So if you have any question about what's going on, there are insiders working with the weather controllers, Wall Street insiders, and so that's why we see hurricanes that are being steered into Florida and various different states. This could have been knocked down. So we'd like to hear from the people in Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and Florida, and hear what you have to say about that. Okay. Next is the Northeast Pacific water vapor loop, and we can see the jet stream here on the upper left moving down towards California. It's being blocked. See a disruption here in the jet stream flow right here. Everything is dead ending into some high pressure. This is installed stationary high pressure. We have the jet stream, which is just stopping right here. Fake news will never show you that map on television. Look at here in the Northeast Pacific infrared loop. You see a lot of evaporation here, and all that water vapor has nowhere to go except to the northeast and to the southwest. If we go back to the water vapor map, we can see that. There's also a low pressure system right down here developing. This is tropical depression 4E, which I pointed out. This is being knocked down. We can see the, get back over here to the East Pacific infrared map. We can see that system being targeted and superheated. See the blast pattern right there, the pressure waves. And this system will not amount to anything for at least the next 24 hours. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Looking at the western U.S. water vapor loop, that jet stream has nowhere to go. It just dead end. It's just dead ending right there. See the high pressure installed in this area is evaporating all that moisture right on the jet stream. That is amazing. We got a developing weather system right here, which looks to be spinning a little bit to the counterclockwise direction there. That is probably the reason for this high pressure. They're separating this jet stream flow from this developing weather system right there. This is interesting. The power of the upper atmosphere, this jet stream flow, is just being dead-ended right there. It's being stopped. We should be having cool weather as a result of this flow pattern. It should be continuing right into California. We've got thunderstorm activity, the monsoonal flow. By the way, look at the blast pattern down here on Berry. But once again, that is insufficient power. They're using insufficient power and allowing that system to run right into Louisiana. We've documented many storms on this channel. We have nearly 1,000 videos. If you want to look up Hurricane Patricia, that was about 3 years ago. That was a Category 5 storm with 210 mile per hour sustained winds, which originated way down here off of Mexico and then moved out and then did a hook, a 180-degree hook, U-turn right back into the mainland of Mexico. And right as it got near the coast, the storm was superheated and completely destroyed. And so there was damage, but nobody was killed. No catastrophic damage you would expect to see from, a storm that it was a record breaker. It was one of the strongest storms of all time. All right, so look up Hurricane Patricia on this channel, and you'll see how, and there's plenty of examples. That's just one of dozens. That's probably the most extreme example where the weather controllers were able to superheat that storm and protect the mainland of Mexico from being completely obliterated, if I can pronounce that, obliterated by a Category 5 storm. Okay. All right, so that's the report, short report. We'll just leave it right over here. And that is Tropical Storm Barry, raising hell in Texas and Louisiana. We see most of that heavy rain right off shore right there. Okay, that's it.